And action. Welcome back, everybody, to another dad build video. Or as Mike Macon likes to say, why do you call them dad builds? They're great. Don't call them dad builds like they're secondary. I'm like, okay, Mike. So like that. But I like the name dad builds. I like that. It's trademarked now and stuff. So we've got a PvP version. There's a PvP like testing thing going on. I'm like, you know what? We need a new version for Frostygon for PvP. So let me show you what I've done in here. Let's first start off with the gear. We're going with the theme here. We're going Nunatak. Nunatak, if you haven't seen this monster set, it's amazing. All right? On dealing, it's like a whole list in here. On dealing frost damage, create a 6-meter area underneath the target for 6 seconds. All right? Dealing 923 numbers change. Frost damage to enemies every 1 second and applying 40% snare for 4 seconds. Enemies damaged 4 times become immobilized and affected with major brittle for 4 seconds, causing the target to take 20% increased critical damage. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds and scales off the higher of weapon and spell damage. It's absolutely amazing. And you do it for us in here when we're using our Arctic Wind. So you're surrounded by a whole lot of people and stuff, and you're going around and doing stuff, and you're battling, and you're hitting everything like that, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're going to get a spike that comes up in the middle, boom, and it takes care of them. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. Boom, there it is. It's hard to see underneath like this guy. But yeah, you see like coming out from that like stuff. You leave them all kind of in the dust, or in the ice, we should say. So yeah, absolutely wonderful. All right, so that's the first set that we're using in there, and then we're doing a heavy set because we want to do a little bit more. We want to have some staying power. We just, you know, we're not the best at PvPs. We know this. We're no Mike Macon. All right, Mike Macon is awesome on the PvP battlefield. So we need a little bit of help. We just don't want to, you know, get ganked or get one-shotted or, you know, be able to put up a little bit of fight and sustain a little bit. So that's what this dad build's all about and everything. We're not going to be putting out like huge deeps. Parse numbers do not mean a thing. It's all about surviving and going with your group and getting stuff done. So that's why we're going with this heavy set, and it's still in the theme because it's called Ice Furnace. And in here, you get, when you deal frost damage, you deal an additional 1148 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters of the initial target. This effect can occur once every second and scales off of your higher weapon or spell damage. So you are in it. You're in all this stuff. All these guys are going around you, and then all of a sudden, you froze them. You're frying them. They're a piece of fish to you. You're just thinking, they're like, what's happening? One moment I was fine, the next moment I was and dead. Yeah. So much fun with this build. Since we don't have, since it's a 2-piece monster and the 5-piece that we are mixing that in with Oakensoul, because it is a 1-bar build still, and we're rounding off with a couple of Trainee necklace and ring just to give us some added health and some added Magicka. The staff, you can't really see it on here too much, but the staff in here is just our frostbite staff that we've been using with that. You could use pretty much anything that you want on here. We just want the added spell damage and the precise and weapon enchantment of the spell damage in there, because that's all we're using it for. So yeah. So there's the gear. If we're looking at our attributes, we're all into Magicka for this one. We've got kind of a good setup here. Our Magicka's at 28. Our health is almost at 26. But like I said, we're going to have all this other stuff around us in here. Spell damage, 4132. Spell crit is in there. We've got all the oak stuff that's going to be giving us, you know, everything here. Spell resistance, almost 25,000 on there. Crit resistance, is that 2082? And there, all of these things that we're going in here, I'll explain some of the extra ones that we're getting in. My food is, I'm using the misrule because I plan to misbehave. Misrule in there because that gives us increased stamina, Magicka, recovery. So it gives a lot of our recovery back and gives max health a little bit of boost because recovery is a big thing in there when we're running around and doing stuff. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go after the and the pots that I'm using are just the tripods. You know, wonderful tripods that we get. Everybody thinks we don't get anything good in the monthly rewards, you know, the daily rewards and stuff. We get all the tripods that you could ever hope to want. So, absolutely wonderful there. All right, let's look at the skills. Everybody's kind of wondering about what are you doing for the skills in here. So, the skills, it's all defensive. Why? Because we want staying power. We want to be out on that field. We don't want to just be running around dead. Which, for a lot of us PvEers that are primarily PvE, that happens to us a lot. So, I've got stuff to help us that. One of the things, right off the bat on the end here, all right, Blinding Flare. I picked that because it's not only is a flare to uncover some of those pesky Nightblades that are out there and stuff, it'll stun them if it finds them, which is really great for like 4 seconds. But it also gives us major protection, reducing your damage taken by 10%. Absolutely fantastic. I've been using that in the Endless Archives. It's been fantastic. Pairing that with what else do we do? All right, I keep on thinking of Mike Maky because Mike Maky always has these wonderful sayings and stuff that he says in PvP and stuff. One of the things that people always do is that they always run through the keep door when there's all this AoE on the ground. Well, you can still do that. We're going to give you a little bit of help. We're going to go with Slotted. You're going to go a little bit faster, and you're also going to get minor evasion. That's one of the things that the Oakensoul Ring does not give you. So we're going to get minor evasion, reducing your damage from area effects on there. All right? So if you're running around, if you feel called out, if you're running around here, you're going to get through that a little bit faster, and you're not going to take a lot of damage from those AoEs. So you get through those little choke points in there, which is, we always run through them. We say we shouldn't. We do. You know, somebody does. So that's going to help us out, too. So on either end of my bar, we've got this extra protection by 10%, which could be fantastic in here. All right. Then we're going to have our Arctic Blast. So our Arctic Blast is here not only to give us a really good heal, but it also does damage in there, stunning the enemy as we're going around. And this is going to be proccing all of those wonderful our Ice Furnace and our Nunatak in there that we were talking about before. So that's our main one. All right. Then we're going to put on top of this Leeching Vines. Leeching Vines, basically, they hit you, we get healed. We laugh. All right. It says, I got you. Poof, heals us. Ooh, wonderful. That felt refreshing. All right. So we're going to go with that. Then we're going to go for our offensive single target one. We're going to be doing our Screaming Cliff Racer, which we're going to hit that from range, set them off balance, and then we're doing heavy attacks. And we've got a CP to help ourselves out with that. Yeah. And then lastly, we've got Barry. Barry is now a bear possessed. Have you seen his eyes? Look at his eyes. Oh my gosh. He is ready for some PvP. Barry has got the eye of the bear. The eye of the PvP. And I make kind of fun of this. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Barry. All right, that I've changed him to not just having the was the Wild Guardian in there. I have changed him up into the Eternal Guardian. And what happens to the Eternal Guardian, instead of doing bleed damage, he does magic damage, but he also does more damage when enemies are below 25%. So he's kind of a great finishing move on there. And he respawns when he's killed. You can't kill him. He's immortal. All right? So he just keeps on coming back for more. So he's got the bloodlust. So absolutely fantastic. So those are the skills. So things to do some damage. Things to do damage when we don't even, can't even, get a shot in ourselves. And they're giving us some protection, giving us some evasion, giving us some wonderful heals and stuff, keeping us around a little bit more, and then our damage within there. So, all right. So I've done the gear. We've done, talked about that. Oh, people are talking about, what race should I pick for that? Use whatever race that you want. I'm partial to Khajiits. It really doesn't matter anymore. It's so 1%, 2% of what you could do, and you can make it up for anything with any gear or any, enchants or anything like that. Go with what you like in there. The Mundus that I have, I got to change my Mundus. All right? Don't look at my Mundus. My Mundus is going to be, I didn't change it out. What do I have? I think I still have the Thief. Yeah, I got the Thief on here. I'm actually going to change that to the Atronach. All right, so we're going to change that up to the Atronach in a second. We're going to get that in there. Food I talked about. Potions I talked about. Skills I talked about. Take all the passives for whatever anything is in. I just went through doing all the passives for all the Alliance stuff in there, for all the PvP stuff. Grab all those. Passives for all of your class skills, going through all that and your weapon skills. Do that as well. And then the last thing is the CP. So in the green, I always say the green stuff doesn't matter, but in PvP it really kind of does. Gifted Rider, so we get our little faster mount speed in there. Master Gatherer and Rationer, you could pick 2 other ones if you want. The Steed's Blessing is very nice, so we've got even more movement speed outside of combat to get ourselves into a battle. For the blue, I've chosen Wrathful Strikes, Focus Mending, so we get some more healing done. Weapon Expert, so we do more with our heavy attacks. And the Exploiter, again, to do more damage with off-balance enemies. So we'll be doing that. And then I'm going into, and then of course all the passives for both of those. And then I'm going with Survival Instincts. So while effective with a status effect, your core combat skills cost less. Sustained by Suffering. Increases your health, Magicka, stamina recovery by 30 per stage while under the effects of a negative effect. That goes up to a total of 150 for each. That's very nice. Pain's Refuge reduces your damage taken by 2% for every 2 negative effects that you have on you. So if someone lights you up with a whole bunch of different effects and stuff in there, you're going to have 20% reduced. And then Celerity, even more speed. Get us around, run around, do all the stuff. So yeah. So we got all that in there. Let's see. I think that's it, everybody. Am I leaving anything out? I think we are good. Let me look at my list of stuff. We did the gear. We did the things. We're going to change to the Atronach. We got our stuff like that, skills and everything. Yeah. There we go, everybody. Well, I thank you, everybody, so much for everything, for the excitement over the dad builds, especially for Frostygon, which is doing so great in all of our endless archives. Really been loving it, having just a blast in everything there. And like I said, this is a great PvP build. It's going to be fun. You're going to be able to take a few hits and sustain, so you're going to feel better about yourself as being a PvEer in PvP. You know, that's the dad build part of it and stuff, you know, and still being in the ice theme, excuse me, within that. So enjoy, go out there, go PvP, have a lot of fun, and let me know down below how much that you're liking it. Please make sure to ding the bell and do all the things and subscribe. We are very, 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 very close to be able to apply for monetization on the channel, so I'm super excited. So get in there, watch all the videos and stuff. I really appreciate all the support. So thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Bye!